It was a very, very tight race between Climb Mount Northnea and the Second Korean War. I think they each ended with 50-ish votes. But in the end, Second Korean War has triumphed. So we're going to start up the Second Korean War. Now it's going to be a pretty tough mission or a pretty tough campaign because some of these unit stats have changed. Some for the better, some for the worse. And it's especially the second part that I'm worried about. We're going to see a little bit of that already, as before I even considered doing the campaign, I did it for a little bit and I immediately found out that there's a problem with the Enterprise. We're going to see that right now. Usually, when I play this map or this mission, I rely on my checkmates, the VFA 211, which have a couple of Super Hornets. Here's the problem: the Super Hornets don't have harpoons. They now carry AIM-9Ms, and these things have been changed from anti-ship planes to air superiority fighters. That means that I have 7 air superiority fighters, but no real anti-ship plane strike capability. So I cannot pick off lone targets with aircraft like I normally would in this mission. That means I'm going to have to adjust my strategy. And the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure I hold all of these zones. So I'm going to deploy Parries there, and I'm going to use a swarm of Pegasus, backed up by LCUs, as well as a couple of Chanceries to deter missile threats, and try to snipe as many of those capital ships as possible as they're going to come around this corner, or the corner on the other side of the map. Alright, let's deploy these ships. Oliver has a parry up there. Parries are decent at defending themselves, although you do not want to have these guys engage a missile swarm. They are just not meant to survive that. Now, I'm going to call on the Pegasus later. First up, I want to double up on these Pegasus, or also on these Parries, in high threat areas. I'm also going to give him 1 Chancery. There, that's all I have points for right now, but I'm getting a plus 14 income. Actually, let's make sure that these parries are geared towards the threat. Come on. Actually, no, not really. The gun on the parry is at the back of the ship, right there. So I need to make sure that these things are actually sideways onto the target. So this would actually be a pretty decent angle. Disable the harpoons on all of these ships. If those things are going to fire, I want to dictate when and where they fire at. There, harpoons all disabled. Let's speed this thing up a bit. Now here's another problem. I cannot really get Pegasus to go around this corner without getting hit by any ship that's going to come around that area. So I'm going to have to be a bit careful there. I'm going to bunch up my parries, or my Pegasus, and escort them with a parry towards the next zone. So that from there I can actually make sure that I have enough capability or enough missiles capability to start striking those capital ships right there. So disabling the weapons. Parries, by the way, sorry, Pegasus, I'm going to keep confusing these things, just watch. Pegasus ships don't have any kind of self-defense. That makes for a bit of a burden, because if these things go unescorted, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. There, that's for Pegasus. Let's hotkey these things. And considering that there's not really a threat right now, I'm going to try and send those things around. Let's get an LCU ready. Because sooner or later, and probably sooner, we're going to start seeing a Sovereign go around this corner and try and get into Delta. And before it gets there, I want to have my parries in here. Sorry, my Pegasus, see, confusing them again. I want to have my Pegasus in here, because if I don't get them into cover, they are going to be real easy targets. Alright, steaming up with more Oliver has his parries. And, oh, it's a Torrential. Works for me. Out of range, though. That means I'm going to have to move up a little bit. Let's get the LCU around, as we still can at this stage. Oh, we're getting engaged. Yep, that's Sovereign. Alright, Pegasus, get in range. Look at that Chancery. Poor thing is getting completely shot to shit by that Sovereign. Actually, make that 2 Sovereign. That should make for a more interesting fight. Missiles at the target, please. Yep, they're all firing. I might be able to get a double kill here. This Sovereign is slightly too far away from his buddy. Got one hit there. Let's go with another Pegasus. Sorry, no, yep. I keep calling Perry's Pegasi and other way around. Okay, this thing's done. One more missile strike should kill off that first Sovereign class destroyer, or light cruiser, if you will. There you go. Next target's going to be the Najin. Najins are pretty capable ships. 120 points, they carry quite a bit of firepower. And I think, yeah, my Pegasi are out of ammo. So I'm going to have to send in another LCU to escort that thing. Najin got hit very, very heavily. It's time to start bringing in more Oliver Hazard parries towards the right. Because these ships are taking a battering and they're not actually firing back yet because they're not in range. So I'm going to alternate these ships. Get the weak one out of there, get the strong one, the survivor, in there. And we got... oh, that's just a helo, that's not really a threat. Now, the other LCU is going to come around this flank. If I turn it towards this small area here, I have a very, very good chance of actually losing that ship. Not something I want to have happen. Tarantula 3, long range firing. Two parries there covering each other. More missiles are coming in. Oop, Su-27 SKs. They are going for, it seems, my lonely Oliver Hazard parry there. Would be great if I could kill one of those aircraft. Come on. They're worth quite a bit. No, didn't get any. Actually, one went down there. Yeah, I got one. Okay, these things are sufficiently ready to fire. That should take care of the Najin, and then I'm gonna go for the parry. Let's bring in the Congo. Takes care of that. Sovremeni. How would you like to die? So long as the enemy doesn't spam a lot of ships, so long as they come at me in a decent one-by-one fashion, I have a pretty good chance of getting them out of here alive. Now here's my Congo. I'm gonna hold off on this thing because the Najin over there is gonna start to cause problems here. Let's see, that Sovremeni is not dead yet. Really? 1 HP? Okay, I know it's not 1, but you know, low HP. Yep, good night, sir. That's another 500 points. That's 2 of their 4 cruisers down. Now you're gonna go around the edge there. I think that my LCU, yeah, is empty. Bit of a gunfight here with the Tarantula. The thing doesn't really stand a chance against the combined fleet of 3 parries. And we got another taker, and a Jin coming around the corner there. Problem though, I only got 4 harpoons left in this group. Let's get another LCU there. And the other LCU is going to have to go around the corner. This thing doesn't stand a chance, not against a Congo like that. Look at that, 98% chance to hit. That is what you want to see from these ships. I'm going to consider calling in another group of Pegasus, preferably 4. Ooh, this is getting annoying. Radar operator killed. Radar operator killed is usually deadly to ships because they cannot defend themselves against anti-ship missiles. And there you go. I got hit by an ASM pretty heavily. And this Congo might go down. I would really prefer if it didn't, but you never know with these things. So we're gonna send ASMs over. Hit. Oh yeah, now we're getting more and more and more ships there. I need that LCU to resupply those Pegasus as fast as possible. Parry, disable your harpoons. Time to bring another Pegasus group. Ooh, this LCU is taking the worst possible route. That means I'm gonna have to use these parries as a bit of an escort fleet. You can stay there for now. If those things do decide to launch ASMs, it's gonna be pretty painful. It's gonna be pretty painful. So let's hope that they're not gonna get away with that. ASM's coming in, going for the LCU there. Must be terrifying to be in that ship right now. I don't want these things to be repaired. It's gonna take me way too much stuff. I just want to make sure you guys have missiles. Got a Jin in the area here. Pegasus are getting ready to fire. The Jin first, and I might start seeing muskets in the area now, which will make this more difficult. The Jin got hit pretty bad. Oh, you guys empty already. Yeah, this one is. Ceasefire. Where's my other LCU? Oh, they're both here. Excellent. That's going to make sure that these things get resupplied very, very quickly. Seems that the Parries took out another ship there. Or the Pegasus. I'm not really sure who did it. At this stage, I don't really care. These things got a lot of overlapping Sea-Wiz systems, but it's not enough. Hold your fire. See if we can get a couple of missiles through that Sea-Wiz. Yep, blew up another Najin there. Tarantula coming through. Look at that, these things are almost empty already. 2 out of 8, 8 out of 8, good. Next Najin. Jesus, that parry's gonna go up in flames. I've really got nowhere to send that thing. Come on. Missile, one more, no, okay. That one. I would really prefer it if all of those parries make it out alive. This missile's getting expensive. Yep, blew up another Najin. That one's panicked and already pretty heavily damaged, so that's going to be the next focus. There's another Najin coming around that flank. Parry, I need you to be a deterrent there. Ceasefire. Yep, got another Najin down. You're the next target. I'm going to fire off one salvo because now this thing doesn't really have that much cover and my Pegasi are getting a lot of XP from all of this killing. So the Torrential down. Here comes the Najin. A bit concerned about this Congo though. It's going to survive, but not by much. Yeah, you can stay there. Let's see, how many missiles do you have left? 7. Look at that. I got a load of these missiles ready. Fire at the... not at the Torrential then. Okay. Whoops. Ceasefire, ceasefire. That might actually hit something. Yep. Wow. 140 plus 120. Very nice. Very nice. Now, let's get in a Seahawk to do some spotting there. I'm gonna give this guy a bit of a surprise. Ceasefire. I do not want you to launch missiles unless I tell you to. And a couple of new contenders here. The dual torrential group. Pick the second one and hope that the first one blows up with it. Weapons free. Missile salvo in the air. Secondaries. Ceasefire. This should be a pretty nice kill. God, look at that. The entire Russian Navy is going up in flames. Maybe, just maybe, I'm able to use my second group of Pegasi here and kill off some more ships here. And I may be able to turn this into something that resembles a total victory. Let's speed this up a little bit. I need those parries here to cover each other. Oh, one has a propeller hit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that, damn it. A couple of tarantulas there. If I can kill these, that's another 290 points. Sovrameni's firing. Yeah, one of these things is already going down. Parries are intercepting the missiles as they're coming up. Mr. Navarro and Bush. I would love to get the kill on that Sovrameni, but I don't think it's really a possibility at this stage. Missiles away. Oh, we got some more targets here. Except that all of my Pegasi are out of ammo. Oh, look, no, they're not. They are not. But Komars are river-class coasters. So that's why I cannot engage them. Hold your fire. 164 points to go. I can do that. Oh look, a volunteer tarantula. Missile hit. Just that one, please. Whatever you can use to fire. There you go. These things are, except one, elated. Come on. Yep, blew up another one. The second one was heavily damaged, and this is going to be the last target. Alright. So, with the loss of, I think, just one Chamzuri, I managed to kill off everything here. They lost a metric ton of shipping. There you go. I don't think that this battle could have gone any better. Look at that, even destroyed a auxiliary vessel brigade. Lost one Chamzuri. They lost 8 Najins, 6 Komars. That must have been the secondary explosions from blowing up the Najins. 2 Sovramenis, 12 Tarantula class escort ships, 1 Su-27K, and I lost 1 Chamzuri. This is how you deal with the Russian Navy. Alright, we deterred that threat, blah blah blah. They're coming in, I can get a first strike, great. Let's see what I actually have before I start playing this campaign. This group here is an infantry regiment in Seoul. I have Socheong-sus with grenade launching vehicles, a couple of Stingers but only 2 of those, 4 mortars, and a good amount of support ships here. Usually I just deploy the Donghae and let that thing take care of everything as it comes close. That usually works very well. Supporting there is an artillery company, recon company, a couple of K5s. These things are pretty terrible. 10% ECM. A couple of short-range missiles which are fire and forget but only 40% accurate. Not really interested in that group. This though is what I'm worried about. I got M48 A5Ks and a couple of KAV 90s. Now watch this. These things have an armor penetration of 13. These have an armor penetration of 11. My recon vehicles actually have more pen than the tanks. And the tanks only have 7 frontal armor. This is my threat. T-72M with 12 frontal armor, so my tanks won't penetrate. And they have 16 armor penetration, which means that if the T-72M fires at maximum range and hits my M48A5, it's going to do 16 points of damage, blocked by 7 points of frontal armor, means 9 hit points damage. That means that they can almost one-shot these tanks. And they can definitely one-shot these tanks if they get closer than their maximum range. So I'm actually not interested in getting into a battle in Chuncheon. That is, unless I can push some other support group in there. If I can push these guys into Chuncheon, that would be useful. But they only really have infantry that is armed with a 16 armor penetration M72 Law. It's not really going to be persuading these tanks. The units that I can bring in are Haebyung 90s, but they're in the naval tab, and Chuncheon doesn't have a naval unit. So what I'm going to do here is quickly get these guys some R&R to build up a bit of cohesion and get myself some more starting points. I got an air defense company, a couple of Hawks, a couple of Behoes, And usually this entire battle group comes in, which means fighters, MiG-23 MLs, as well as MiG-29 913s. They may look old, but this strike group has been replaced. These things are actually pretty capable fighters. What I might be able to do though is lure those things over my anti-air defenses. So I'm going to deploy the air defense company here. I have one anti-tank company, which would not be that well used in this sector. Because usually when I play this map I'm going to defend in Dijon, because it gives me a land reinforcement as well as +3 income. But the lines of sight aren't that great. So I don't really need those things there. I can use them in Seoul maybe. So I'm going to sacrifice Chuncheon. Can I defend Sokcho? Doesn't look that good. I will have Seoul, but they're going to come in from Wonsan, so they're going to start there. I have Chuncheon, so I have this zone and everything else. It's not a really solid zone to defend there. Because what are they coming in with? Type 59s. Lots of those. What's their stats currently? Terrible accuracy. They're only 15 points. They can spend a lot on these tanks and field all of them. They have 7 frontal armor. My infantry here has 16 armor penetration. And these napalm units are not that really interesting at this stage. So I'm gonna have trouble penetrating those Type 59s. I will go through, but I'm not sure that Sokcho is really defensible. Especially if they come in with all the infantry that's behind them. Moreover, this tank group has 3 initiatives, so they can attack, or they can move and attack in the same turn. Infantry regiment, lots and lots and lots of shock troops, as well as Iglas, Bullseye 2, these guys are new. Looks like a bit of ATGM-like team. Biban Chung Pos, recoilless rifles. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold that zone. What I can do though, if I move my armor regiment to Sokcho, these things have 11 penetration and 7 frontal armor, but they're moderately accurate, 40%. I might be able to hold Sokcho as they're gonna push into that sector. The problem is that this battle group's going to go here and then right into Daejeon. So I'm going to need a sort of stopgap measure in order to make sure that they don't do that. Let's first start off with moving the armor regiment north. I also have a helicopter special aviation regiment. This is a bit weird, by the way. This is a South Korean regiment or battalion that gets a Marder 1A4. It also gets a bunch of SEALs, a couple of AH-1Js, which could be useful in the defense of Daejeon. This is a really decent map for me to deal with those tanks, so I can let them come in here and then attack them with helicopters and infantry. Okay, let's try this. We're going to put the Sokcho, or the tanks there. We're going to move Wonju up, because the moment that Wonju gets contested I lose 10 points of income, and I don't want to have that happen. I can reinforce with that armor regiment as soon as possible. This special aviation regiment is going to go to Daejeon. That leaves me with a recon company. These guys have recon of their own. A couple of Suzac days. Not great, but it'll work. I need those things a lot more in this sector. Those K5Es are going to go there as a sort of luring force. You're going to stay here. Artillery company. Pretty terrible artillery batteries, a couple of mortars. I think I do have a fob in this deck though. Yeah, I do have one. Yeah, we're going to send those there. Now, I also have quite a few battle groups over on the right as far as naval groups are concerned. The Enterprise here has just come out of a battle, but I can move it. What would be ideal is to re-engage this surface division and deal with it. And actually, I might be able to do that right now. Look at that, I got the Sovereigns and their helicopter group. But now I'm pincered between this group of Udalois and both the Kuznetsov with Udalois and Sovereigns, as well as 4 more Udalois. So I'm gonna need to get that battle group assistance yesterday. They have Udalois and a couple of Anushkas, so lots and lots of ASMs. I have Hatsuyukis, Pohangs, which are not great at intercepting missiles. Yeah, I'm gonna probably need an additional naval battle group there. But I usually take this battle group and sail it all the way around in order to defend myself against an incoming helicopter regiment. It's not there yet, but I also need something to deter against the Lotus, the Muskets, and this Marine regiment. I can deploy 4 Congos or aircraft from the Enterprise. Escort flotilla is only going to come in there. Jesus. The thing is, I do have quite a bit of air superiority here. Those MiG-29Ks can be a bit annoying, but they're going to come into range of my AA. MiG-29Ks, same deal. I'm not worried about this battle group, not too much, except for the loads and loads and loads of ASMs that they got. I'm going to block off their path into India. I don't want them to get that zone and deprive me of another 5 points of income. I'm going to have to slug it out with those battle groups right there, because what I need right now is more units which can actually operate there. Preferably something that flies, like a helicopter attack squadron. Because these guys, once that battle group of tanks actually comes into Daejeon, are going to do all the work. They're going to be the main aggressive force that I have there. They will have a couple of Shilkas, some Spogs. If I stay out of range, and that's not too difficult to do, I can nail that tank regiment. Lots and lots and lots of planning in this one. Okay, so we're going to send you there, and up you go. Okay, leaves me with 0 points, and I'm going to stop the first episode here. It's going to be a bit of a good start, I gotta say, because I managed to destroy the auxiliary battalion or brigade, as well as that surviving group of Sovereigns. So I got this first naval group out of the way. Now I gotta start focusing on Lima. Lima can of course go into Kilo, and I will then intercept them with the Enterprise and possibly the escort flotilla too. But more on that in the second episode. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see how this battle is going to continue, because I think it's going to be pretty long of a war, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching so far, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any suggestions or tips, but I probably won't be reading those, because I usually record quite a few of these episodes in a row. Anyway, if you have something to let me know, do so in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching, see you next episode.